As we age, life offers us countless opportunities for growth, reflection, and fulfillment. But it also presents certain dangers that, if ignored, can severely impact our well-being. These aren't just physical mistakes, but also mental and emotional pitfalls that slowly erode the quality of our later years. Avoiding these deadly errors is crucial for a vibrant, meaningful life, and few philosophies offer better guidance than Stoicism. Inspired by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, Stoicism encourages self-awareness, discipline, and wise living. This video will explore 15 deadly mistakes to avoid in your later years, can help us avoid unnecessary suffering while leading a purposeful, content life. Let's get started. 1. Neglecting physical health. Have you ever caught yourself postponing that doctor's appointment, skipping a workout, or indulging in one too many treats, promising to make amends tomorrow? While these lapses may seem insignificant in the moment, their cumulative effect can cast a long shadow over our later years. In the tapestry of life, neglecting physical health is akin to fraying a vital thread, jeopardizing the integrity of the whole. The Stoics, ancient philosophers renowned for their wisdom and resilience, recognized the intrinsic connection between the body and the mind. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic and Roman emperor, eloquently stated, "The body is the instrument of the soul." To live in harmony with nature, as Stoicism advocates, one must nurture the physical vessel that houses the soul. In today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification and sedentary lifestyles reign supreme, the Stoic emphasis on physical well-being resonates with profound relevance. We are bombarded with temptations that lure us away from healthy habits. Processed foods laden with sugar and salt, endless hours spent in front of screens, and the allure of convenience over physical exertion. While indulging in these fleeting pleasures may offer temporary solace, they ultimately undermine our long-term health and happiness. The consequences of neglecting physical health in our later years are manifold. Chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis can significantly impair our quality of life, limiting our mobility, independence, and overall enjoyment of life's simple pleasures. Moreover, physical ailments can take a toll on our mental and emotional well-being, leading to depression, anxiety, and social isolation. The Stoic solution to this predicament lies in the application of moderation and discipline. Just as a skilled craftsman meticulously maintains their tools, we must care for our bodies with diligence and intention. Regular physical activity, whether it be a brisk walk, a yoga class, or a swim, strengthens our muscles, improves cardiovascular health, and boosts our mood. A balanced diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, provides the nutrients our bodies need to thrive, while mindful eating fosters a healthy relationship with food. Regular health checkups allow us to identify and address potential health issues before they escalate into major problems. The Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control is particularly pertinent here. We cannot control the aging process or the inevitability of illness, but we can control our daily habits and choices. By prioritizing physical health, we empower ourselves to live a more fulfilling and vibrant life, even as we navigate the challenges of aging. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of vitality, ready to embrace the day's opportunities. Picture yourself enjoying leisurely walks with loved ones, pursuing hobbies with passion, and contributing meaningfully to your community. This is the vision of a life well lived, where physical health is not an afterthought, but a cornerstone of overall well-being. By embracing the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we can navigate the complexities of aging with grace and resilience. By prioritizing physical health, we cultivate a positive mindset, fostering gratitude for the gift of life and the ability to experience its fullness. In the golden years, when time becomes increasingly precious, let us not squander it on regrets or neglect. Let us instead embrace the Stoic wisdom of caring for our bodies so that we may continue to flourish, contribute, and find joy in every moment, no matter our age. 2. Neglecting mental health. In our increasingly hectic lives, the significance of mental health often slips through the cracks. Neglecting mental health issues such as stress, anxiety, or cognitive decline can lead to significant problems in later years, including depression or even dementia. This neglect can have profound implications, as it is essential to recognize that mental health is just as vital as physical health. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Epictetus, emphasized the significance of maintaining mental clarity and inner peace as crucial elements in living a virtuous life. They taught that the mind must be nurtured in the same way we care for our bodies. Take, for instance, the Stoic practice of reflecting on one's thoughts and emotions. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic emperor, maintained a journal where he documented his reflections on life and his emotional struggles. This practice not only provided him clarity, but also allowed him to confront his feelings rather than suppress them. Through this lens, we can see that mental health care should be considered equally essential as physical care. Cultivating resilience, practicing mindfulness, and engaging in regular self-reflection can significantly enhance our mental well-being. When we look at the demands of modern life, it's clear that many of us feel compelled to push through stress and anxiety without addressing them. However, this approach can lead to a deterioration of mental health over time. By recognizing the immediate benefits of taking care of our mental well-being, such as improved focus, enhanced emotional resilience, and a greater sense of peace, we empower ourselves to lead more fulfilling lives. It's important to not overlook the vital aspect of mental health in our pursuit of a balanced life. Just as we would not ignore physical ailments, we must also confront our mental struggles. By committing to self-care and supporting one another in this journey, we can create a community that values mental health alongside physical health. 3. Neglecting emotional health. Next, the importance of emotional health is often overshadowed by the demands of everyday life. Many people neglect their emotional health, either by suppressing their emotions or letting them dictate their actions. This neglect can lead to emotional instability, strained relationships, and ultimately, unhappiness. It is important to realize that our emotional health is just as important as our physical health, and the Stoic philosophy offers valuable insights into how to manage our emotions effectively. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. This principle is expressed in the words of Marcus Aurelius, who advised us to focus on what is within our control. By cultivating our ability to regulate our emotions, we learn to respond to life's challenges rationally rather than impulsively. For example, when faced with criticism at work, the Stoic approach encourages us to pause and reflect before reacting defensively. Instead of letting our emotions get out of control, we can analyze the situation objectively and decide on a measured response. Practicing emotional awareness is essential to maintaining this balance. Regularly reflecting on how our emotions influence our responses can help us gain insight into our behavioral patterns. Techniques such as negative visualization, imagining the worst-case scenario, allow us to mentally prepare for adversity. This exercise can help reduce the emotional shock when difficulties arise, helping us respond rationally rather than chaotically. The immediate benefits of focusing on our emotional health are huge. By prioritizing our emotions and learning to manage them, we create the foundation for stronger relationships and a more fulfilling life. The sense of freedom that comes from emotional balance is liberating. We no longer feel overwhelmed by our emotions, but instead become masters of our emotional landscape. As we navigate life, let's commit to practicing emotional awareness and self-mastery. Reflect on your emotions daily and strive to respond thoughtfully to life's challenges. Share your experiences and commitments in the comments. Together, we can build a community dedicated to nurturing emotional health. By applying the principles of Stoicism, we can cultivate a more peaceful and purposeful life that honors both our mind and our heart. 4. Losing your sense of purpose. At some point, everyone encounters moments of reflection, wondering where their life is headed. Have you found yourself questioning, is there still meaning in what I do? As people enter their later years, these thoughts can grow more persistent. It's not uncommon to experience a shift in priorities once the hustle of career, raising children, or achieving long-term goals begins to fade into the background. Losing that sense of purpose can leave a person feeling lost or disconnected, yet this phase of life offers the perfect opportunity to redefine what gives life meaning. With the constant pressure from society to measure success by productivity and visible achievements, many feel an overwhelming sense of worthlessness when their roles or responsibilities change with age. Drawing from the wisdom of Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, we learn that purpose is not derived from external success, but from how we act in alignment with our values. Stoicism teaches us to let go of outcomes that are beyond our reach, and instead commit to meaningful actions we can influence. For example, think about how you could contribute to others in small yet significant ways. Whether it's offering guidance to a younger generation, being a source of kindness in your community, or even practicing gratitude for the present moment, these actions carry the weight of purpose. To further explore this, let's look at the example of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who faced unimaginable pressure and responsibility throughout his reign. Despite this, Marcus found his purpose not in the results of his actions, but in his daily commitment to live with integrity. His journal, Meditations, reveals a man deeply focused on aligning his actions with his inner virtues, regardless of the external challenges he faced. This focus on small, intentional efforts rather than grand accomplishments gave him a clear and lasting sense of purpose, something we can all practice in our own lives. Consider this. What small but meaningful action can you take today to create purpose in your life? Instead of looking for a grand transformation, Stoicism encourages us to find purpose in the act of doing, not in waiting for an outcome. Whether it's taking a moment to practice gratitude, extending a hand to someone in need, or learning something new, these are all actions within your control. And in doing so, you're already stepping toward a more purposeful life. This is your invitation to act now. Don't wait for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike. Start small, focus on the moment, and find meaning through everyday actions. As Epictetus often reminds us, it's not about what happens to us, but how we respond that truly defines our lives. By concentrating on what's within your control and engaging in small yet purposeful acts, you'll rekindle a sense of purpose that is fulfilling and sustainable throughout your later years. How will you bring purpose into your life today? What intentional action, no matter how small, will you choose to focus on to reconnect with a sense of meaning? Share your thoughts, and let's inspire one another to live with renewed purpose, one small step at a time. 5. Ignoring financial planning. When was the last time you reflected on the financial decisions that will shape your future? While many of us tend to focus on the present, it's important to remember that the choices we make today have long-term consequences. The stress and hardship caused by financial instability in later years can be overwhelming if we fail to plan adequately. In the philosophy of Stoicism, the idea of controlling what we can is central. Instead of fixating on what we cannot change, we should focus on what is within our reach. Financial planning is one such element firmly within our control. In the context of financial preparedness, this means taking charge of your money and future, ensuring that you maintain autonomy and stability as you age. Consider the financial landscape we navigate today. Despite having steady incomes, many people are caught unprepared for the unpredictability of aging costs, from healthcare to housing. Even figures like Mike Tyson, who earned millions during his boxing career, faced financial ruin due to a lack of foresight and planning. His story serves as a potent reminder that financial security is not guaranteed by wealth alone. It requires thoughtful, strategic planning over time. Let's step into the future for a moment. Picture yourself or someone close to you reaching retirement age without a solid financial foundation. The fear and anxiety of not knowing how to cover basic needs or relying on others for financial support could be suffocating. It's a stark reality many face, but it is entirely preventable with adequate planning today. Have you taken the time to assess your financial future? If you've found yourself pushing aside these thoughts for later, you're not alone. However, the sooner you start, the more control you can regain over your future. Reviewing your savings, establishing a budget, and planning for long-term security are critical steps toward financial independence. Now is the time to act. Take practical steps today to secure your financial stability. Start by setting aside a portion of your monthly income, even if it's a small amount. By following the principle embodied by Warren Buffett to spend what's left after saving, not save what's left after spending, you can establish a secure foundation for the future. The peace of mind that comes from financial preparedness is immeasurable, granting you the freedom to navigate life without the constant weight of uncertainty. Imagine the relief you'll feel when you've built that financial safety net. You'll be able to enjoy your later years knowing that you have the resources to live comfortably and independently. This kind of freedom, both financially and emotionally, is one of the most significant gifts you can give yourself. Finally, don't just plan, commit. Share your journey with others, encouraging those around you to prepare for their futures as well. 6. Isolating yourself or staying in toxic relationships. Picture this. You're sitting in a room full of people, yet you feel completely alone. Or perhaps you find yourself constantly drained by the negative energy of those around you. These situations are not uncommon, but their impact on your well-being is profound. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a toxic relationship or choosing isolation over confronting difficult social interactions? The sense of being stuck, whether through loneliness or being surrounded by negativity, affects not just your daily mood, but your long-term happiness and mental health. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius warned us about the company we keep, stressing that it shapes not only our actions, but also our thoughts and emotions. The allure of social media and the convenience of digital communication often give us a false sense of connection. While these tools are meant to bring us closer, they can paradoxically lead to greater isolation. We stay glued to our screens, avoiding real-world interactions, or worse, we remain in damaging relationships out of fear of solitude. The implications are far-reaching. Research suggests that prolonged social isolation can have the same impact on our health as smoking multiple cigarettes daily. Meanwhile, toxic relationships can trigger a downward spiral of stress, anxiety, and even physical ailments. Consider Meghan Markle's brave decision to step back from her royal duties to protect her mental health. Her choice to distance herself from a hostile environment exemplifies the Stoic principle of prioritizing personal well-being over societal expectations. Think back to a time when you felt emotionally drained after spending time with someone. That feeling of exhaustion is more than just a mood. It's your mind and body reacting to a toxic influence. Now, imagine choosing to be around people who inspire you, who make you feel valued and understood. So how do you break free from harmful dynamics and cultivate healthier relationships? Start by reflecting on your current social circle. Who brings positivity and growth into your life? Who, conversely, pulls you down with their negativity? It's not easy to set boundaries, but it's essential for your well-being. Limit your exposure to those who drain your energy and seek out communities that resonate with your personal and professional values. Join a club, volunteer, or simply reconnect with supportive family and friends. Small steps can lead to significant changes. When you make these changes, you'll notice a newfound sense of peace and empowerment. Waking up knowing that you are surrounded by positive influences can transform your life. This is not just a Stoic ideal, it's a reality that you can achieve. Take action today to reevaluate your relationships. Who adds value to your life and who detracts from it? Share your thoughts in the comments below and commit to one change you'll make to nurture healthier connections. Your well-being deserves it, and so do you. 7. Not adapting to change and technology. Remember that pang of frustration when you first tried to navigate a new smartphone or decipher a social media platform? That feeling of being left behind is all too common in our rapidly evolving world. Technology, in particular, advances at a relentless pace. From the latest gadgets to the ever-shifting landscape of social media, the world around us is in constant flux. To resist this change is akin to trying to dam a river. It's a futile struggle that leads only to frustration and isolation. Imagine the heartache of being unable to connect with your grandchildren because you haven't embraced their preferred modes of communication. Or consider the missed opportunities for personal and professional growth when you refuse to adapt to new ways of working and socializing. It's a lonely and limiting existence. The Stoics understood this well. They taught us to accept what we cannot control, and change is undoubtedly one of those things. Embracing change doesn't mean blindly following every trend. It's about cultivating a mindset of openness and curiosity. Start small. Take a class on a new technology, ask a friend or family member for help, or simply make an effort to stay informed about the world around you. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step you take towards embracing change is a victory over the fear of the unknown. Remember, embracing change is not about surrendering to the whims of the world. It's about empowering yourself to navigate it with grace and resilience. By staying connected, engaged, and open to new experiences, you'll ensure that your later years are filled with growth, joy, and a deep sense of belonging. 8. Failing to stimulate your mind and pursue passions. At some point, we've all felt a lull in life, that creeping sense that something is missing. Perhaps it's the gradual loss of excitement in your daily routine. Do you remember a time when your curiosity drove you, when learning or pursuing something you loved filled you with energy? The truth is, it's never too late to recapture that spark, and doing so can have a profound effect on your life, no matter your age. Picture this: waking up each morning not with a sense of obligation, but with eagerness to dive into a book, explore a creative project, or tackle something new. Far too often, as we age, we allow our intellectual curiosity to fade into the background, thinking that our prime years for learning or passion have passed. Yet those later years are precisely the time when staying mentally engaged can offer the greatest rewards. Think of the vibrancy it brings to life, like the way Warren Buffett, well into his 90s, continues to thrive by dedicating hours each day to reading and learning, keeping his mind sharp and his days purposeful. We live in a society where constant distractions can easily dull our minds. Daily routines, technology overload, and the misconception that aging means slowing down all contribute to a sense of mental stagnation. However, what if this phase of life is the perfect moment to reignite the passions you've put aside? By neglecting personal interests, life can feel monotonous, leaving you unfulfilled. The wisdom of the Stoics has always emphasized lifelong learning and growth. Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, cautioned against allowing our minds to become idle. He believed that constant reflection and intellectual challenge were essential to living a meaningful life. This philosophy transcends time, reminding us even today of the importance of nourishing our minds, especially in later years. It's not just about avoiding cognitive decline. It's about finding joy and purpose in intellectual stimulation, a core tenet of Stoicism. Now, pause for a moment and reflect. What personal passions have you set aside, thinking you'd return to them someday? Could it be the joy you found in writing, the satisfaction of mastering a new language, or perhaps the creativity you once explored through painting or music? No matter how much time has passed, your mind is still capable of growth and discovery. What would it feel like to devote even a few minutes each day to reconnect with these parts of yourself? Starting this journey doesn't require a major life change. Simply carve out 30 minutes each day to do something that engages your mind, whether it's reading, picking up an old hobby, or learning a new skill. Consider how J.K. Rowling never gave up on her passion for storytelling, even when facing rejection after rejection, or how Leonardo da Vinci, despite his many achievements, continued to push his intellectual boundaries well into his later years. The lesson is clear. When you commit to lifelong learning, you not only enrich your mind, but also inject fresh energy into your life. By nurturing your intellectual curiosity, you'll notice a renewed sense of purpose almost immediately. The dullness of daily routines will give way to days filled with excitement and discovery. You'll feel more connected to the world around you and to yourself. This mental engagement can make the difference between simply going through the motions and truly living. So, what's one passion or intellectual pursuit you've been putting off? Take a moment to think about it and share it in the comments below. Together, let's encourage one another to rediscover the joy of learning and pursuing what we love, because the journey toward growth and passion never truly ends. 9. Clinging to the past and resisting change. At times, life can feel like a cycle of memories pulling you backward, holding you in a place where it's hard to move forward. The past can be alluring, filled with both triumphs and regrets, but dwelling on it too long often leaves us stuck. One of the key errors people make, especially as they age, is clinging to the past and resisting change. Stoic philosophy reminds us that impermanence is a core principle of life, and attempting to hold on to what once was not only stifles growth, but also prevents us from truly experiencing the present moment. The modern landscape is filled with reminders of our past successes and failures, whether through social media memories or conversations that bring up old stories. This attachment to what was can create a form of mental fatigue, distracting us from what is happening right now. Stoicism teaches that life's ever-changing nature is inevitable. Holding on to the past doesn't keep us grounded. Instead, it pulls us away from what truly matters. The Stoics emphasize that personal freedom and growth lie in accepting this reality. To illustrate this, let's consider Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers. In Meditations, he reflects on the transient nature of life. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. He understood that our attachment to past perspectives or events distorts the way we live today. In modern times, we might focus too much on career accomplishments or regrets about missed opportunities, letting them overshadow what we can achieve right now. Stoicism teaches that focusing on what's within your control rather than being consumed by past events is the key to peace and progress. One practical approach for applying this wisdom is through daily reflection on the present. Instead of replaying memories, shift your attention to what you can influence today. Practicing mindfulness can be a powerful tool in this process. For example, instead of allowing yourself to get lost in thoughts about past mistakes or achievements, write down something you can actively do to make today better. One suggestion is to start each day with a question. What can I focus on right now that will move me forward? This creates a habit of engaging with the present and acknowledging what is within your grasp. Another technique is journaling about gratitude, where you list things you're thankful for in the present, helping to shift your mindset from dwelling on the past to appreciating the now. When you release your grip on the past, you'll notice a sense of lightness entering your life. Rather than feeling weighed down by what can't be changed, you'll find room to embrace new opportunities, experiences, and emotions. Stoicism's greatest gift is the ability to live freely in the present moment. Accepting that the past is unchangeable and focusing on the here and now empowers you to find peace and purpose today. 10. Failing to plan for end-of-life care. The mistake of failing to plan for end-of-life care is a stark departure from this Stoic wisdom. It reflects a reluctance to confront the natural conclusion of life, a denial of its undeniable reality. This avoidance can have profound consequences, not only for the individual, but also for their loved ones. When we neglect to make our wishes known regarding end-of-life care, we leave our families and friends with a heavy burden. In their time of grief, they must grapple with difficult decisions about medical treatment, legal matters, and funeral arrangements. These decisions, fraught with emotional turmoil, can lead to disagreements, regrets, and a sense of guilt for not honoring our unspoken desires. The Stoics understood that preparing for death is not an act of morbidity, but an act of love and responsibility. It is a way of ensuring that our passing does not become an additional source of suffering for those we leave behind. By taking the time to create a clear and comprehensive end-of-life plan, we can provide our loved ones with guidance and clarity during a challenging time. This plan might include a will outlining the distribution of our assets, a healthcare proxy designating someone to make medical decisions on our behalf if we become incapacitated, and a living will specifying our preferences for end-of-life care. It might also involve open and honest conversations with our families about our wishes, ensuring that they understand and respect our choices. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, in his Letters from a Stoic, wrote, "Rehearse death." He was not advocating for a morbid preoccupation with mortality, but rather a conscious acceptance of its inevitability. By contemplating death, we can gain a deeper appreciation for life, a greater sense of urgency to pursue our goals, and a willingness to let go of the things that no longer serve us. In the context of end-of-life care, rehearsing death means preparing for it with equanimity and foresight. It means acknowledging that our time on this earth is finite, and taking steps to ensure that our passing is as peaceful and dignified as possible. It means sparing our loved ones the added burden of uncertainty and indecision. Failing to plan for end-of-life care is not simply a practical oversight. It is a philosophical error. It reflects a failure to live in accordance with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By confronting the reality of death and making our wishes known, we can demonstrate these virtues in action, providing a final act of love and consideration for those we hold dear. 11. Not seeking help when needed. Sometimes it's easy to get caught in the hustle of daily life, losing sight of what truly matters. We move from one task to the next, our minds filled with thoughts of deadlines and goals, rarely pausing to breathe and take in the present. Do you ever find yourself simply going through the motions rather than living fully and appreciating the beauty in each moment? This common mistake of merely existing instead of truly living often leads to regret as we grow older. The years pass by quickly, and before we know it, we've let countless moments slip through our fingers, unnoticed and unappreciated. In Stoicism, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius emphasize the need to live in the present and to find contentment in simplicity. Life's beauty doesn't lie in extraordinary achievements, but in the ordinary moments we often overlook. The Stoics teach us to savor what we have right now, because the present is all we truly own. When Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations about the fleeting nature of time, it wasn't just a philosophical musing, it was a call to action. He urged us to cherish the little things, the warmth of the sun on your face, a gentle breeze, the quiet peace of an early morning. These are the moments that shape a life well lived, not the constant pursuit of what's next. Think about how easy it is to get swept up in the demands of work or personal ambition, forgetting to enjoy the small pleasures of life. Consider Epictetus's words, another prominent Stoic, who reminds us that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. In that, we find freedom and the ability to shape our own experience of life. Stoicism isn't about dismissing achievement, but about recognizing that joy can be found in the present, no matter how mundane it may seem. By slowing down, we can reconnect with the moments that bring us peace and happiness. So how can we break this pattern of living on autopilot? A simple yet powerful approach is through mindfulness. By dedicating just a few minutes each day to truly observe your surroundings and reflect on what brings you joy, you can start to shift your mindset. Whether it's the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of birds chirping outside your window, or the feeling of sitting down after a long day, these small moments of appreciation can lead to a fuller, richer life. Writing down what you're grateful for each day can be a practical way to cultivate this awareness. Start small, and over time, you'll begin to notice how much beauty there is in the ordinary. Before the years slip away, it's time to commit to being present. Each day offers countless opportunities to connect with the world around you and find joy in the simple pleasures of life. It's not about grand gestures or significant changes, but about being aware of and embracing the moments that make up your day-to-day life. You can start today. Pause, take a breath, and be fully present. Life isn't just about surviving, it's about truly living, feeling the richness of every moment, and being at peace with the world around you. 12. Forgetting to enjoy life. Have you ever felt like a lone warrior, shouldering the weight of the world on your own? In the grand tapestry of life, there will be times when we face challenges that seem insurmountable. Yet seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to wisdom and courage. Modern society often glorifies independence and self-reliance, making us hesitant to reach out when we need support. The pressure to always appear strong can push us into a spiral of isolation and despair. We may convince ourselves that we can handle everything alone, that asking for help is a sign of failure. But this misconception couldn't be further from the truth. Even the Stoics, renowned for their emphasis on self-discipline and resilience, recognized the importance of community and interdependence. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, wisely noted that we should seek assistance when necessary. He understood that true strength lies not in solitary struggle, but in recognizing our limitations and embracing the support of others. Imagine a majestic oak tree standing tall in a vast forest. It appears invincible, weathering storms and standing the test of time. Yet beneath the surface, its roots intertwine with those of its neighbors, sharing nutrients and providing mutual support. Just as the oak tree thrives through interconnectedness, so too can we flourish when we allow ourselves to be part of a supportive community. Refusing to seek help when facing physical, emotional, or mental struggles can exacerbate problems and lead to further isolation. It's like being trapped in a dark room, unable to find the way out. The weight of our burdens grows heavier, and the shadows of despair deepen. But what if there was a hand reaching out to offer a guiding light? What if there was a listening ear and a compassionate heart ready to share your load? Seeking support is not a surrender of control, but an act of self-compassion and wisdom. It allows us to tap into the collective strength of humanity, to draw upon the knowledge and experience of others. Whether it's seeking medical advice for a physical ailment, confiding in a therapist for emotional support, or joining a support group to connect with others facing similar challenges, reaching out can be a transformative step towards healing and growth. The first step may be difficult, filled with vulnerability and uncertainty, but it's a step towards breaking free from the chains of isolation and stepping into the light of connection. Just as a single candle can illuminate a dark room, a single act of reaching out can spark a profound shift in our lives. Seeking help not only empowers us to overcome challenges, but also fosters a sense of belonging and shared humanity. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, that others have walked similar paths and emerged stronger. By opening ourselves to support, we create opportunities for connection, understanding, and growth. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your courage and resilience. It takes strength to acknowledge your limitations and to reach out for support. Embrace the power of community and let the collective wisdom and compassion of others guide you towards a brighter future. Are you ready to break the silence and seek the help you deserve? Share one concrete action you will take today to connect with others and find support. Let's build a stronger community together, where no one has to face their challenges alone. Remember, the Stoics believed in the power of community, and so should we. 13. Becoming attached to material possessions. Imagine a moment when your favorite possession gets damaged or lost. What emotions arise in you? It's a feeling many of us have experienced, but how much of our peace of mind are we willing to sacrifice for material things? This attachment can lead to stress and anxiety that becomes more pronounced as we age. Stoic philosophy reminds us that external possessions, no matter how valuable, are fleeting. What truly defines us is not what we own, but the virtues and wisdom we cultivate within. In a society where status and success are often measured by material wealth, we sometimes forget how burdensome these things can be. The constant upkeep, the fear of loss, and the pressure to acquire more can weigh heavily on our minds. As we grow older, these concerns don't dissipate. They often amplify, creating a cycle of worry. Stoicism, however, offers a way out of this cycle by teaching us to focus on inner wealth rather than external possessions. Consider the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers who consistently emphasized the impermanence of material things. Epictetus, for instance, taught that true wealth lies not in accumulating possessions, but in having fewer desires. His philosophy encourages us to detach from external things and instead concentrate on the inner qualities that bring lasting peace, wisdom, courage, and virtue. Take the example of Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's most powerful emperors and a devoted Stoic. Despite his immense wealth and influence, Marcus often reflected on the transience of all external things. He practiced detachment and reminded himself daily that material possessions, no matter how grand, could disappear in an instant. His inner peace came not from what he had, but from who he was, his integrity and philosophical discipline. The question then arises, how can we apply this wisdom in our lives today? Reflect on your possessions. Are they serving you, or are they a source of stress? Shifting your focus from material goods to personal growth, relationships, and emotional resilience can transform the way you live. Instead of feeling tied down by your belongings, you can experience a sense of freedom by valuing what's within rather than what's around you. Now consider this. If you lost everything you owned tomorrow, what would remain of your sense of self? Would you still feel confident and secure? These are the kinds of questions Stoicism asks us to ponder, inviting us to reassess what truly brings value to our lives. By letting go of attachment to things beyond our control, we open ourselves to greater peace and clarity. In practice, this means taking steps to simplify both our physical and emotional environments. Start by decluttering, physically and mentally. Keep only what truly adds value to your life and let go of the rest. By doing this, you create space for the things that matter most: relationships, personal growth, and inner tranquility. The benefits of this shift are immediate. With fewer possessions weighing you down, there's less to worry about and more room to focus on what truly counts. You'll find that letting go of material attachments brings a profound sense of relief and freedom. No longer consumed by the need to protect and maintain, you can dedicate your energy to cultivating virtues and building meaningful connections. It's time to reevaluate the role that material things play in your life. Take action today by reflecting on your attachments and making conscious choices to let go of what no longer serves you. Share your journey with others and encourage them to do the same. By embracing the teachings of Stoicism, we can all lead lives that are richer in purpose and peace, free from the unnecessary burdens of material possessions. 14. Allowing pride to block personal growth. In the autumn of life, when the leaves of experience have piled high, it's tempting to rest on our laurels, believing we've mastered the art of living. This sense of pride, while understandable, can become a formidable obstacle on the path of personal growth. The Stoics, ancient philosophers renowned for their wisdom, recognized this pitfall centuries ago. They understood that life is a perpetual journey of learning and self-improvement, and pride can blind us to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. As we age, we accumulate a wealth of knowledge and experiences. We navigate the complexities of careers, relationships, and personal challenges, emerging with a sense of accomplishment and self-assurance. This confidence is valuable, but it can also morph into a rigid mindset, where we believe we have nothing left to learn. We may dismiss new ideas, resist change, and cling to the familiar, convinced that our past successes are a blueprint for the future. This is where the Stoic philosophy offers a powerful antidote. The Stoics believed that wisdom lies not in the accumulation of knowledge, but in the constant pursuit of it. They advocated for a beginner's mindset, a willingness to approach each day with curiosity and openness, regardless of age or experience. This humility allows us to recognize that the world is vast and ever-changing, and there is always more to discover, to understand, and to integrate into our lives. Pride, on the other hand, creates a false sense of completion. It whispers in our ears that we've reached the summit, that further exploration is unnecessary. This can lead to stagnation, missed opportunities, and a sense of disconnect from the world around us. We become trapped in our own echo chambers, surrounded by the familiar and comfortable, while the vibrant tapestry of life continues to unfold beyond our self-imposed boundaries. Consider the example of the renowned Stoic philosopher Seneca. Despite his vast knowledge and accomplishments, he remained a lifelong learner. He sought wisdom from diverse sources, including those younger or less experienced than himself. He understood that true growth comes from a willingness to challenge our assumptions and embrace the unknown. The benefits of embracing lifelong learning are profound. It keeps our minds sharp, our spirits engaged, and our lives filled with purpose. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to contribute to the world in meaningful ways, and to experience the joy of continuous self-discovery. It is, in essence, the key to unlocking our full human potential. So how can we overcome the trap of pride and cultivate a beginner's mindset? The first step is awareness. Recognize that pride, while a natural human emotion, can also be a barrier to growth. Acknowledge that there is always more to learn, regardless of your age or experience. Next, actively seek out new experiences and challenges. Step outside your comfort zone, explore unfamiliar territories, and engage with people from different backgrounds. Embrace the discomfort of being a beginner, knowing that it's a sign of growth and expansion. Finally, cultivate a sense of curiosity and wonder. Approach each day with an open mind, eager to learn and discover. Ask questions, seek out diverse perspectives, and challenge your own assumptions. Remember that the world is a vast and wondrous place, and there is always something new to explore. 15. Fearing death instead of accepting it. As people enter the later stages of life, many begin to fear death. The uncertainty of what lies ahead often breeds anxiety, which can prevent them from fully living and appreciating the time they have left. However, Stoic philosophy offers a different perspective, one that encourages us not to fear death, but to accept it gracefully. Rather than worrying about the inevitable, Stoicism teaches us the concept of memento mori, the practice of remembering death, not to live in fear, but to live more fully. In modern society, death is often a taboo topic, something that people tend to avoid discussing. We get caught up in the fast-paced race for success, wealth, and achievements, often losing sight of the fact that death is an unavoidable part of life. This fear of the end can lead to unnecessary stress and prevent us from enjoying the small, precious moments in our day-to-day existence. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." His words remind us that fearing death makes us lose focus on the present, the only moment we truly have control over. Rather than being overwhelmed by the idea of dying, Stoicism encourages us to see death as a natural part of life. Epictetus, another influential Stoic thinker, emphasized that death is nothing dreadful, but the thought of death, if anything, is dreadful. According to him, the fear of death is simply a construct of the human mind, and by changing our perspective, we can free ourselves from the anxiety it brings. A prime example of practicing this philosophy can be seen in the life of Seneca, a Roman philosopher and statesman. Seneca spent much of his life preparing for death, not with fear, but with calm acceptance. In one of his letters to a friend, he wrote, "Rehearse death." To say this is to tell a person to rehearse freedom. A person who has learned how to die has unlearned how to be a slave. Through this mindset, Seneca lived without the shadow of death hanging over him, instead focusing on living a virtuous and meaningful life. To move past the fear of death, we can practice memento mori daily, reminding ourselves of life's impermanence. This doesn't mean sinking into gloom, but rather recognizing the profound value of each moment. By meditating, journaling, or simply reflecting on death, we begin to see it as a natural event rather than something to dread. In this acceptance, we find freedom. When we let go of the fear of death, life becomes richer and more fulfilling. Instead of worrying about the unknown future, we can concentrate on what is within our control, living with virtue, showing love and appreciating what we have. Stoicism teaches that death is not to be feared but acknowledged, so we can live fully in the time we have. In summary, the mistakes we face in later years are not just physical but mental and emotional too. With Stoicism, we can avoid these pitfalls and live with dignity, purpose, and joy. Live intentionally, keep learning, and care for both body and mind. By applying Stoic principles, you'll live wisely and without regret. If you liked this video, comment 1, share, and subscribe for more Stoic content.